2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Philadelphia. It's the home of the 76ers, the Wells Fargo Center. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. The Detroit Pistons come into this one after the win against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Well, Greg, and I think it complements the starters when you can have such firepower coming off the bench.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Guys, Joel Embiid is listed at 7 feet, but at player introductions, they say 7'2" center, Joel Embiid. Now, Brett Brown says when you stand next to him, you understand the difference between 7 feet and 7'2". He's a big man, Kevin.
He is tremendous size and skill to match, GA. Thanks. Well, we got plenty of youth on both sides. Clark, what's it like to be part of an up-and-coming team in this league?
You know what, Kevin? I think it's a mixed bag. I think it's both very exciting and on occasion extremely frustrating because you don't know what you don't know, and the lack of experience sometimes is more prevalent with young teams than more experienced ones. So watching both of these teams develop over time is really going to be fun to see how their journey plays out.
These coaches will need a lot of patience, though, and the veterans on the team, too.
Exactly, both ways. You're right.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. The athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Then there's Reggie Bullock, and there's Jackson, and it's Galloway in at the shooting guard position. And so it's the 76ers getting on the board first. Jackson kicks to Drummond. They set the pick. Outside Griffin. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
First free throw is good. And, Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years. Their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in the season. Now, less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and increased skill set.
And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. Could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
Now here's Simmons. 14 points from him the last game against the Clippers.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
The 76ers shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
The first one falls.
You know, when you watch Ben Simmons, he has marvelous talent and all-around ability, but sometimes you can easily focus on what he can't do. He's not a great shooter, so teams do back off of him, but still, this guy is an impact player because he sees the floor, he passes it great, he's a terrific rebounder, and he's got a nice motor.
And so he hits both. And for Simmons, missing his rookie year due to the injury, but he showed he was worth the wait.
No doubt. And you just don't see players with his skills and his body type come around that often, Kevin. I mean, he started quickly out of the gates and took over the Rookie of the Year award race almost immediately.
He gets it in there.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
Here's Simmons. The shot that time, not on target. Griffin with some nice D. Here's Galloway, covered by Redick. Pass to Griffin. Drummond sets the screen for Griffin. 6 on the shot clock. Embiid with the steal. Outside, Redick. Here's the three. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Redick's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And the pass to Galloway. Kicks to Griffin. Outside Jackson. Lets it go from deep. That shot is off. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, sloppy play sabotage. I mean, they'll have to be much more focused this time around.
And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. And stolen by Drummond. Bullock passes to Jackson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit. But the last two seasons, injuries have really held him back.
And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17 battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends.
The first one falls.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
Both free throws good from Jackson. Clark, back when you were playing, what were the biggest challenges over the first third of the season you found?
Well, the travel is always a challenge, particularly early in your career. Just learning how to manage that. How do you rest? How do you get your work in? How do you stay focused mentally? So the challenge of travel and the details of your craft. And then establishing chemistry with your teammates. We were kind of in transition my first 3 years in Indiana, where we had new players each year. And that's one of the challenges with the team that's struggling to be competitive.
Embiid the screen. Here's Simmons. Back to Fultz. Just 5 on the clock. That one off the back iron and out.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. Now here's Simmons. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Ben Simmons, such a force when catching the ball, moving at the rim. But you know, Clark, he can get there on his own just as well.
Yeah, he's got a great knack for being able to get where he wants to with the ball. His size and strength and agility certainly help him. And he understands angles. This guy is just a jump shot away from being virtually unguardable, in my opinion.
That's good from Simmons.
And the Australian Simmons is a star in the making thanks to his extremely versatile and high-level skill set and big frame.
And the Pistons making a change here. Lures checked in. Second free throw, no good. Andre Drummond in his mid-20s. He's led the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons. And Greg, last season was his best one yet.
Really, I think, established himself as the franchise player for the Pistons. They'll go as far as he can take them. At the same time, though, I think the acquisition of Blake Griffin will only help to mature his game.
Here's Simmons after the basket by Detroit. From 13, Andre Drummond grabs the miss. The Pistons have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Lure the pass to Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
Let the big dog eat. Love seeing Drummond throw it down like that. Beautiful.
Fultz kicks to Simmons. Embiid the screen. It's tipped, and he's able to get it back. They recover it. Kept alive. Goes up again. Here's Simmons. And finally, that one's good. Simmons got 7 points.
Oh, I tell you, how about the passion of Simmons? I mean, just sticking with it on the glass.
Here's Jackson. Rebound by the 76ers.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that. And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
He kicks it to Drummond. Lure the screen. Jackson misses. Philadelphia's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. To the inside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And the story with Markelle Fultz last season was one of health and getting his shot right.
Yeah, he suffered a shoulder injury, Kevin, that really impacted his ability to shoot the ball. He tried to play through it, but eventually had to be shut down. And, you know, it's hard to miss that type of time as a rookie. Not only games, but the few practices you get during the season as well. So he's going to have to restart in year 2.
And he can't get the first one. And with as much news and worry that Fultz's jump shot has caused, you forget just how deadly he is going at the rim.
Yeah, has no problem cutting through the defense like a hot knife through butter. I tell you, Ben Simmons said he hates guarding Fultz in practice as it is impossible to stay in front of him. Just a very shifty player who uses his great handles to get into the teeth of the defense.
Well, guys, when you talk about some of the great turnarounds for a franchise in NBA history, the process for the 76ers has paid dividends. They went from 10 wins in 2016 to 52 wins last year.
Now here's Simmons. Connects on the 9-footer. Simmons got 9.
Boy, what skill from Simmons. I mean, so adept at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
The Pistons working the ball around now. Excellent use of the screen that time. And the steps, Clark, the 76ers have taken. It's only the beginning.
Yeah, this is really the ideal situation to have if you're the Sixers. I mean, this team's built to last and still has good draft assets and flexible cap space. I mean, come on. That's an abundance of riches there.
Pistons trail by 3. Outside Jackson. Pass to Lure. Feeds it to Drummond. Embiid with the steal. And now Philadelphia on the break. Outside Simmons. Baseline try. Rebounded by the Pistons.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 9. Back to Redick. Shoots from the right block. It doesn't go for him. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Here's Drummond. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. The 76ers lead. Fultz with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Covington's shot is off.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Outside, Redick. Passes it to Covington. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And watching Robert Covington and how he plays out there, great 3-and-D guy, the ultimate role player on a team, and he just gels well with his teammates, and he doesn't force shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And Greg with Covington, he makes a point with his game to take what the defense gives him.
And sometimes that means Covington will go nights where he shoots very little. He's okay with that. He's focused on efficiency and making the best decision for the team. Only cares about wins and a true team player.
And he makes both free throws.
Yeah, a lot of whistles here early, as well as foul trouble starting to be an issue.
Yeah, that's a big reason they're trailing. You can't allow a parade to the free throw line and expect to be on top in the game.
Picked by Pachulia. Smith for three. It's good from long range. Smith's got it all tied up now for the Pistons.
Over time, I think Smith has become more comfortable with his jump shot, particularly when being challenged.
McConnell kicks to Covington. Sharch with the screen for Covington. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Covington's got 7 points.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
To the paint. Tipped away. Stolen by Lure. And here comes Smith leading the fast break. Johnson with the block.
Excellent defensive commitment that time from Johnson. He's always there and present.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
Good on the bucket.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Smith kicks to Lure. No good on that one. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. Chandler outside. The three-pointer is right on target. Now it's a 6-point 76ers lead.
Great three-point shooting here out of the gate. That makes 4 makes already from long distance.
Bring music, scorching those nets. How long can they keep this up, though?
Now here is Smith. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn. Can't hit from 12. The 76ers leading by 6. Johnson kicks to Covington. Off target from three-point range. Detroit's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Robinson passes to Pachulia. And it's Lure, top of the key. Detroit, no good that time either.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding.
Agreed. I mean, when the defense is right there, you've got to move the ball, make the extra pass. That's a case of a poor shot selection.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And it's good for 2.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Now here's McConnell, covered by Smith. Charge a screen on Smith. Now here's McConnell, guarded closely. 5 to shoot. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Knocks down the 3 ball. And that's now 10 points for Wilson Chandler.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Here's Galloway, defended by Covington. Lure a screen on Chandler. Robinson kicks to Smith. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. 6 points for Smith.
Man, love this guy's attitude. Smith, you leave him open from the outside, and he'll make you pay the price.
And here's McConnell, looking for his first basket still in this one. Charge inside. No good. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We come back right after this. One of the most dominant big men in the league, Andre Drummond, says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
They've got Muscala, Wilson Chandler out there with Sharge. Then it's Robert Covington, and it's McConnell in at the 1. That's the group for Philadelphia to start the second quarter. Here's Smith. Philadelphia able to drain the 3. Galloway dishes to Pachulia. Got a piece of it. Smith the pass to Pachulia. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Now here's Covington. Pass to Sharge. And it's denied. To the middle. Here's Galloway. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. So it's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the Nets to look forward to. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. McConnell kicks to Covington. And Muscala has it in the corner. And that'll be Philadelphia as it goes out of bounds. 76ers retain possession.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer. But they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
J.J. Redick's checked in for Philadelphia. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Jackson's checked in. Now here's Chandler. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
And it was a huge night for him at the other end as well. How about the steals? And he was just a big headache the entire game.
And Wilson Chandler, one of those talented guys who's battled injuries, Clark, throughout his career.
He's one of those guys you love watching play because all he does is try to win and make winning plays. He can give you good minutes, not much of a scorer, but he's a better playmaker and a better wing defender now, too.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
They throw good, Wilson Chandler. Head coaches obviously get the attention in all sports, Clark, but the assistants also play very big roles. How do you build chemistry as a coaching staff?
You know, I've never coached, but I've watched a lot of coaches. I think first and foremost, you appreciate your assistant coaches, and then you give them room to grow and develop as coaches. And you share with them the building of the team and the coaching of the team. And that, to me, I think, if you serve your assistant coaches as they're serving you, I think that's how you build the best chemistry.
And loyalty's got to be big among that group on that sideline, doesn't it? Loyal to each other.
Big time. Loyalty to one another, and then also a common focus on really serving the players to the best of their ability collectively.
That's good from Blake Griffin.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
Yeah, just hitting the reset button, a chance to kind of talk some things over.
Yeah, recalibration time with the timeout call there.
And a look now at the breakdown between three-point and two-point shots attempted here tonight for the 76ers.
Liking the effectiveness they've shown here from three-point land. And I say, hey, shoot it more. They've been successful with a high field goal percentage, and we'll see if that continues to be a part of their arsenal.
Now, here's McConnell. There's the pass to Chandler. Over Robinson. Chandler, no good.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Now here's Jackson. Wilson Chandler unable to get his shot to go. Offensive rebound. Robinson. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2.
And that layup is usually going in, especially when the defense is as lazy as that.
Redick for 3. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
He is not easy to guard in these situations. Redick is eel-like, slippery once he gets a pick.
Jackson passes to Pachulia. Jackson setting the pick here for Pachulia. Here's Griffin. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Saric. With the amount of characters and personalities on this Sixers team, Clark, you can't help but notice the attitude they play with.
Yeah, they play with edge. They play with brashness. Some would say arrogance, but all of the championship teams have some element of that, and that's where they're looking to go. On occasion, if their emotions get out of whack, it could get them in trouble, but I think they'll learn as they grow to tone that down and use it in a positive way.
That's good from Blake Griffin.
Injuries have taken a toll on Griffin as he's gotten older, but shouldn't take away from what he's done over the course of his career.
Simmons checked in for Philadelphia. Markelle Fultz comes in for T.J. McConnell. Then for the Pistons, Andre Drummond's checked in for Pachulia. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Ish Smith. He's perfect from the line this time.
We are having a lot of success from the line here in the second quarter.
Here's Simmons. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Let's take a look at the players who were the best on the glass a season ago. Number 1, Andre Drummond.
And, you know, he took a lot of pride in being at the top of that rebounding list. When all was said and done, he was a man among boys.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And the Australian Simmons, a star in the making, folks. Thanks really in part to that tremendous skill set to go along with that gigantic frame.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Clark, you were drafted 8th overall by the Indiana Pacers. Do you have any indication that you were going to be their pick in particular, that you were going to go in that slot? Was there any kind of inkling at all?
No, I only visited with teams drafting 4 through 7. Talked to the Chicago Bulls, the Dallas Mavericks, and I read some of the reports about where I was projected. But you know what? Once you get past the first or second, sometimes the top 3 picks in a draft, you really don't know who's going where after that. So I was fortunate. I landed in a good spot.
Right.
And Indianapolis was a good place for me and Rosie to be as I started my NBA career.
It sure was.
Two shots.
That free throw missing.
And he may not be converting every chance he gets at the line, but at least he's creating those opportunities. Love the aggressiveness.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Embiid's checked in. And he's good on the second. Pistons trail by 6. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Back to Jackson. Shot's good. Griffin making the play.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 11. Pass to Embiid. And a miss there on the triple. Detroit's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Jackson dishes to Drummond. Back to Jackson. This one for 3. That one's rebounded by Embiid. Philadelphia leading by 4. Redick is in the corner. He dishes it to Simmons. Puts it up from 12. Connects. The jumper drops. Simmons got 4 points in the quarter.
That, to me, is good use of the mid-range J by Simmons, taking whatever the defense gives him out there.
Robinson passes to Bullock. Redick against Robinson. And stolen by Redick. Outside Chandler. To the inside. Tries again. And he lays it straight in. Chandler's got 15.
A solid offensive rebounder. Love how Chandler uses that length of his and his leaping ability to keep plays alive. Very active on the offensive end.
Now here's Griffin. We saw him with 29 points last game. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Robinson. Philadelphia's gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside. And it's Simmons penetrating. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And here's a look at numbers for Reggie Jackson. How he did last season. Came in about 14 points per, 5 assists and 2 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
That one is off.
And he's taking care of the hard part tonight, which is getting to the line. But he hasn't finished the job once he gets there.
Lures checked in for Blake Griffin. And the second free throw, good. Pistons trail by 6. Jackson kicks to Robinson. Pass to Lure. Shoots from the baseline. Fresh 24 for the Pistons. And it's Drummond missing.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
It's not going to go for him. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Shoots. And it's Bullock missing. The 76ers leading by 6. Here's Embiid using his post move to get the 2 points.
That's big boy strength, real big boy strength. Embiid is so good at fighting through whatever challenges the defenses present. And, you know, when you watch Embiid, he just oozes with limitless potential. You think about his size and his shooting touch. He can do just about anything he wants to. Tremendous athleticism. If he can stay healthy, I think he can be a dominant player in this league for years to come.
And Embiid with the block.
That long reach of Embiid is a real asset on defense. Covers a lot of territory and knows how to snuff out shooters. Unfortunately, his shot has been everywhere, all over the place. Can't buy a basket. However, his teammates got him covered.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. And Embiid already voted in as an all-star starter for the East. In his second full season, he has hit the ground running.
Yeah, and you talk about him creeping towards 25 and 11 averages at his age. That's just otherworldly. I mean, when he hits his prime, again, contingent upon his health, this guy is going to be an absolute load.
And let's take a look now at Joel Embiid's numbers. Coming off a terrific season, 4th in blocks, 7th in rebounding, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And he was a shot-blocking machine last season for sure. As you said, top 5 in the league. He gave ground to absolutely no one. Now here's Jackson. He had 16 points in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And it was not a one-man show. That was the best part. He had just as good a game with his passing as he did with his scoring. Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Pistons trail by 8, and Robinson wide open. He shoots. Simmons pulls it in. Simmons got 6 rebounds here tonight. Redick passes to Embiid, and the dunk by Embiid.
How about that? Redick showing the same kind of accuracy on that pass as he has on his three-point shots, which is quite remarkable. That's how you drop a dime, though.
Now here's Jackson. He has 6. Drummond the screen. Jackson off the pick. A second chance effort. And it's Drummond missing.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes. He is in the zone. There's a reason he keeps getting the ball. They're feeding him because they trust him to lead their team.
Here's Drummond. Wilson Chandler making his last shot. Drummond passes to Jackson. To the paint, poked away, tries from 10. The shot that time not on target. And Philadelphia the other way now.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Here's Embiid, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Embiid's got 6 here in this quarter.
And this is what you get with Embiid. A real scrapper, even though he's a big, skilled, talented guy. He's an energy guy as well.
Now here's Jackson. Robinson kicks to Lure. Lure sets the pick for Jackson. Over Fultz. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Pass to Simmons. Clock at 6. And he gets it to go. Simmons got 18 points.
I like the variety pack offense that Simmons gives you. A little bit of everything. I mean, and that's huge for his team. When you're guarding him, it's almost pick your poison.
Now, here is Robinson. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn. Jackson. Jackson missing again.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have. You're right.
Just increasing their advantage. And right now, they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be terribly deflating for the opposition. Boy, they look helpless. Really getting beat up physically and emotionally.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And with the Tide running against them, needs to talk it over with his guys.
You're exactly right. Halting the other team's run momentarily. Let's see what he comes up with now, Greg.
And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Johnson, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Sharch comes in for Ben Simmons. Robert Covington's checked in for Wilson Chandler. And it's T.J. McConnell in for J.J. Redick. Then for the Pistons, Pachulia. He's checked in for Lure. Langston Galloway comes in for Robinson. And it's Ish Smith in for Jackson. For Detroit, they have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one.
Yeah, last year, collectively, only 74% from the line.
2 shots. That's on the first.
And the first one at the line is good.
They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
Galloway hits both of them. 1:21 left to play here in the second quarter. McConnell passes to Sharch. They set the pick.
Two shots.
And the first one drops.
And, you know, Fultz is a guy who can easily take over a game if you give him an opportunity to. He's very confident and has remarkable decision-making skills.
And so he hits both. Pistons trail by 19. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached this Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks. And here are the 76ers now. After the basket by Detroit. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
Now, here's Bullock. Back to Galloway. It's stolen by Fultz. To the paint, here's Drummond. Offensive rebound. Some solid defense from Sharch.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter.
Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers taking a 19-point lead into the break. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
We played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. Philadelphia finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They are dominating the scoring, leading by 19. Kenny, what do you think?
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, valuing each possession so critical to the tempo, so crucial to the offensive flow. They've got a great rhythm, as smart and as safe as they're playing, they made it clear they're not going to beat themselves today.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
Well, with the way they struggled to defend the three-point line, it started to look like warm-up drills. They cannot be afraid to bring more defenders out high. They got to make life tougher on those outside shooters.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side.
My brother.
We begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. A fantastic game from Wilson Chandler in this one.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
We begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. On the court for the Pistons, Andre Drummond is out there with Pachulia. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then there's Reggie Bullock. And it's Galloway in at the two-guard spot. They get a hand on it. And Drummond kicks to Griffin. Nailed from three-point land. Griffin's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Pistons. Down low, Embiid. And Embiid throws it down.
Just a tremendous feel for the game. Simmons is so gifted at reading the floor.
Pistons trail by 18. And there's so much speculation early in Embiid's career. If he would even pan out, it's become clear, Clark, that he was worth the wait.
Well, it was all injury related in terms of the questions because he sat out his first 2 years in the league with some type of injury. Those injury concerns, really the only reason that people question him, the talent, the size, and you love his personality as well. But this guy has tremendous skills, and he's going to be an all-star for years to come if he's healthy.
Here's Jackson. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. Back to Griffin. Drummond sets the screen for Griffin. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Bullock missing.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding you.
Agreed. I mean, when the defense is right there, you got to move the ball, make the extra pass. That's a case of a poor shot selection.
Here's Jackson after Ben Simmons' bucket. Jackson down low. Here's Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
Boy, I like the activity of Drummond on the glass. I mean, he's so big and active. Excellent timing and hands, always pounding and grinding for offensive rebounds.
And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That'll be his second foul of the game. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Embiid sets the pick for Covington. Kicks it to Embiid.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Covington with the bucket.
And it's always terrific when Covington gets going down in the paint. I mean, this guy can score the ball from anywhere on the floor.
Back to Jackson. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. In the corner, it's Griffin. That's short off the rim. Philadelphia leading by 22. Simmons passes to Embiid. That's his fourth miss. He's made 5 of 9.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The Pistons have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw
two.
attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well. Free throw drops for Griffin. Griffin hits them both. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Embiid the screen. Fultz dishes to Covington. Inside, Embiid. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
You know, you got to love watching Embiid play the game because he has such great passion and really a drive to be great.
It's his first trip to the line.
77% shooter at the line a season ago. Those are better than average numbers.
You know, his free throw percentage has dropped this year, but not really enough to raise any red flags or become alarmed about it.
The free throw drops for Embiid. That one misses. Pistons trail by 21. To the middle. It's tipped and stolen by Simmons. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
One shot. One shot.
The free throw drops for Embiid. Detroit's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
That was a good time to call a timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
And a look here at the shot chart for Chandler.
And this is the kind of performance that everyone talks about seeing in person. The way he's attacked the defense with no hesitation. The tough shots he's taken and made. Just a masterpiece. When he gets it going, he can put up some big numbers.
And that one's good. Drummond. Drummond's got 10 points.
And, you know, Drummond is an experienced big man now, and because of that, he's gained confidence and has no problem shooting over the defense inside. And, you know, Brett Brown has seen it all in Philly. The good and bad times, was the head coach for their lowest points as this team rebuilt. Now he's reaping the fruits of his labor and persistence as he leads a star-studded Sixers team that has great potential.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Now here's Covington. 14 points for him. Embiid against Drummond. Shot clock at 6. Embiid the screen. Fultz. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And Clark, you have to applaud management for the way they stuck with Brown as the team was turning things around.
Yeah, I love it, Kevin. I really do. I mean, being able to see the long-term picture and stay with a coach who you believe is the right one for your group. Very impressive work by the Sixers. You know, injuries and a lack of talent were the issue early, not the coaching. The players love Brown, and rarely are coaches afforded as much time and patience as this franchise gave Brown. I applaud him.
Muscala, he's checked in for Fultz.
One shot. One shot.
The free throw drops for Embiid. The Pistons have gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Outside Jackson. Lays it up off the glass. 8 points for him.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
Here's Simmons, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the 76ers.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, and the other thing they've done since the beginning of this game is score points off turnovers and in bunches.
The first one falls.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Mark, it always seems that coaches get fired a lot, and there's kind of the rotating names there. But the GMs who hire them stay in place. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fairly complex, Kevin. I don't know if we have enough time to delve in it effectively here, but my initial feeling is every circumstance is a little different. And sometimes it's a little easier to move the coach than the general manager for whatever reason. But there should be more accountability for GMs,
shots.
not just for who they draft, but also who they hire as coaches. So I'm mixed, but I kind of understand why sometimes the coach is a little more readily expendable.
That free throw missing. And he's good on the second. And here are the 76ers now. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And how about the points they put up? I mean, they were aggressive. In fact, at times overwhelming.
Hey, I agree with you there. I mean, they were in a really nice flow, Greg. Seemed like they couldn't miss.
Covington with the steal. Fires from 14. No good from Simmons. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Griffin. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. 76ers have gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. And the foul on Glenn Robinson. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Oh no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, you just love the way that J.J. Redick moves on offense. He keeps his defender occupied, constantly on the lookout for operating room to get his shot off. He comes off screens extremely well, uses angles and craftiness. Terrific off-the-ball movement by one of the best shooters in the league.
And both free throws good for Redick. And for Redick in his movement on offense, Clark, most know him as a shooter, but he does so much more.
Yeah, he does. He moves well without the ball. He's a better defender than he gets credit for. He's a guy that can put it on the deck now and drive when you close out to him poorly. His game has grown really quite nicely, and we know what he is as a shooter, a laser.
Clock is at 3. Detroit, no good that time either. The 76ers shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. To the middle. And it's Simmons. That time on the assist from Redick. 23 points for Ben Simmons.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And J.J. Redick, a longtime vet in the NBA, but still plays with a lot of energy.
And Redick said he feels like he's been revitalized in the last few seasons with his change of scenery, playing with more joy, and has always been explosive off the ball in his efforts to get open. You can see when he's on the floor, the whole offense seems to pick up their energy.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Lure the screen. Smith kicks to Lure. Rebound by Muscala.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Smith outside. Oh, Griffin in position. The Pistons working the ball around now. And Lure gets it to go.
Tell you what, it does not matter who's shooting. The defense has got to be better at getting a hand up on long-range shooters. You've got to challenge the shot.
Now, here is Muscala. Inside, stolen by Robinson. Here's Lure. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
2 shots.
Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. 5th on the list, the 76ers.
That's an effort stat for me. I mean, it shows you how hard this team works in the paint. They continue to pound the backboard.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Lure. And some changes here for the 76ers. Johnson, he's checked in for Mike Muscala. And Dario Saric subbed in for Simmons. Pachulia, he's checked in for Detroit. And Lure drops them both. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum.
Now here's Redick. He's got 13. Here's Robinson. That one wide left. Philadelphia has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Chandler the pass to McConnell. Chandler a screen. 6 on the shot clock. Rebounded by the Pistons.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Here's Saric, and slam dunk by Saric.
You know, once he's in the paint, Saric is ready to throw it down.
Detroit's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark, shooting the 3-ball well. Here's Griffin. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And here we can check out the story on Dario Saric. Last year, getting it done. Last season, put up about 14 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you can't downplay the importance of good size off the bench.
Space invader, a big guy who simply holds his ground and makes opponents work around him. That's good stuff.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Here's McConnell. He kicks it to Saric. Chandler a screen. Robinson against Redick. He feeds it to Saric. A fader. A second chance effort. The shot, no good. Excellent D there from Pachulia. Robinson for 3, and he's good on the 3-ball. Robinson's got 9 points.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
McConnell passes to Redick. Johnson the screen. Shot off the pick by Redick. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
You know, you look at Johnson, he's in that upper echelon when you talk about offensive rebounders, so you've got to account for him.
Lure the screen. Smith kicks to Lure. Now the pass to Robinson. Lure sets the pick for Robinson. Shot clock at 5. Elbow shot. And that misses badly. Air ball. Philadelphia's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Redick with the 3. Some solid defense from Robinson.
And still looking for his first triple of the second half. He had 3 at halftime.
Here's Chandler. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. 22 points for Wilson Chandler.
So good at scoring from the mid-range. Chandler often looks to score from this area of the floor.
Screen by Smith. Pachulia the pass to Robinson. Knocks it loose and stolen by McConnell. Now here's Redick, the fast break opportunity. The feed to Johnson. Excellent D there from Pachulia. Detroit's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. And then Griffin with the dunk.
You've got to plug up these lanes to the basket, especially when Griffin is slashing with force.
Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Detroit's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%, 7 of 13 on threes. Robinson dishes to Pachulia. Good work there as it goes. Pachulia's got 8 points.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
To the paint, here's Chandler. Rebounded by the Pistons. Lure's got his 5th rebound in this one. Griffin draws the double. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And it's the 76ers with the ball. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
Here's Redick. The 76ers again can't hit it. And, well, Detroit shooting it quite well in this third quarter, 53%, and the offense is rolling.
Boy, just a lovely dish by Griffin.
The 76ers leading by 22. McConnell kicks to Šarić. Back to McConnell. Šarić just screen on Smith. Redick passes to Šarić. Back to Redick from past the arc. And another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half. And that 4th foul, guys, might force him to scale back the aggression from a defensive standpoint. He does not need, nor does the team need, number 5.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
Boy, and at only 6 feet tall, Smith uses that blazing speed of his to keep defenses off balance. Good luck trying to stay in front of him.
That one is no good. Now Fultz. Over Jackson. And the miss. And so it's Philadelphia finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Philadelphia shooting at 51%. Really solid. Covington at the 3 and Saric at the 4. McConnell and Fultz, the playmaking pair in the backcourt. And it's Johnson in at center. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Now, here's McConnell. Just 5 to shoot. And Saric kicks to Covington. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
And that's really good use of the catch and shoot. Outstanding by Covington. He's a quick decision maker, and he usually makes his decision as the pass is being thrown to him as to what kind of shot he's going to get off.
Here's Griffin. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Griffin's got 10 points here in the second half. Fultz with the ball. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Griffin goes in. It's no luck.
Tell you what, Kevin, they will take that look every time. Limited defense, great shot. Just came up empty. You live with those.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pachulia. And a different look here for the Pistons. Drummond's checked in for Griffin. Johnson comes in for Reggie Bullock. Kennard, he's checked in for Smith. And it's Calderon in for Reggie Jackson. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Nice shot by Smith.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
Now here's Calderon. He's guarded closely. Drummond up top. Back to Calderon. Pistons passing it around. Shot clock at 6. Johnson, the pass to Calderon. His 3-pointers off the mark. The 76ers have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Rebound Andre Drummond. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
Simply missed the connection there. I mean, I like the unselfishness. Admirable, but just not the result.
And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Over to the wing. Now, here is Muscala. Here's Johnson. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. That one on Johnson.
Well, that time not to be denied. Johnson shrugging off the contact to finish the play.
One shot.
Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Would you still consider drafting it?
Yeah, I would consider it. And again, there would be some extenuating circumstances. Why has he declined? What have we seen? Obviously, I'm hopeful that my scouting staff has taken a look at him, and I've seen the kid up close and in person and done my due diligence, so I've got a comfort level with who he is and what he can become. But I don't think the declining of a workout is enough reason to just dismiss a prospect that you like.
Now here's Calderon. Shot clock at 5. Again, the miss by the Pistons. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Here's Korkmaz. Johnson with a screen on Johnson. Shamet. He's guarded by Calderon. To the right side. Korkmaz passes to Johnson. Muscala controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Man, when he's got the height advantage down low, it's over. Forget about it. It's a wrap. You got to send more help if you're the defense.
And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
One shot.
Free throw good, Drummond. In the recent CBA, there have been a lot of provisions put in there for retired players. Health insurance, increase in pensions, Clark, reimbursement for tuition. What do you think of these changes?
Love them, Kevin. Absolutely love them. And again, credit to the league and to the Players Association for thinking outside the box, reaching back to benefit some of the former players that are actually in need of these benefits and deserving of them. Come on now. Those guys paved the way in many ways for what we see of the league now. And most players appreciate and recognize that. And for it to be tangibly recognized and rewarded is great to see. I love them.
2 shots. Last on the first.
Free throw good, Smith. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Detroit's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Pass to Kennard, and he jams it with authority.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
And guys, I like the fact that he chose the one-hand tomahawk slam because you get a little higher when you go off one hand and 1 foot.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Mike Muscala. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. The Pistons have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the 4th. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Calderon kicks to Pachulia. Back to Calderon. The Pistons working the ball around now. Drummond a screen. Jumper off the screen. The Pistons rebound.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
There's a good screen. Shamet. The 76ers with another miss. The Pistons have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the 4th. 4 of 9. Now the 76ers on the break. Johnson's shot is off.
And I love how his teammates have stepped up for him. He's struggling, but they're ramping it up and getting it done this quarter.
Johnson kicks to Calderon. Here's Drummond. Wow, way off on that. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Johnson with the block. Shoots from 12. The putback. Rebound by the 76ers. Shamet. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got rebound number 15 here tonight. And it's Johnson penetrating, and Johnson with the stuff.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
Tell you what, you'd hate to be the guy having the responsibility of guarding him.
And Philadelphia calls time here. Well, Clark, some G League salaries on the rise due to two-way contracts.
Yeah, and I think some of it is a function, Kevin, of the league's prosperity and success as revenues continue to grow. But I don't think it's a handout. I mean, when these guys get called up to the NBA, they've got to continue to be ready to produce and contribute, because at the end of the day, it's about production if you're going to make your way into the NBA.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. And then for Detroit, Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Stanley Johnson. Langston Galloway comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Jackson in for Jose Calderon. That one drops for him.
And Simmons is a purebred scorer, a dominant offensive talent who can score in so many ways.
Drummond up top, guarded by Embiid. Jackson from long range. Good on the three-point shot.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Simmons with it, now guarded by Pachulia, and it's Simmons penetrating. Softly drops in the floater. Simmons got 4 points this quarter.
When he's sprinting down the court like that to the basket, Simmons is virtually impossible to stop.
They set the screen. Here's Jackson, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. That's on J.J. Redick.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
You know, Clark, when you think about it, all fans really care about is winning, and that's hard to pull off when you're the only star on your team. And we see it all over the league.
You know, basketball is not tennis or golf. It's a team game, and one man can't win a championship by himself. I mean, you look at all the championship teams, they were championship teams, not driven by just one star player. And it's a blessing when you can play with other good players, and that's what all good players desire to do at some point in their career.
And the Pistons making a change here. Lewis checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. Philadelphia leading by 23. Stolen by Jackson. And J.J. Redick picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. For the Pistons, Andre Drummond comes in for Zaza Pachulia. And it's Blake Griffin in for John Lure. Back to Drummond. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Griffin on the double team. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. So it's the Pistons now. Pistons trail by 21. And here's Bullock. From the arc. Drills it from outside.
Always got to patrol the three-point line. When you don't, you suffer the consequences.
To the paint. Here's Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
Tell you what, the offensive game of Embiid, ridiculous. He can score in so many ways.
And here are the Pistons. They're on a 19-7 run. Outside Jackson, and J.J. Redick picks up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. We know Clark fans want to see star players. That's been a hot topic around the league. The league has added rules, in fact, that now prohibit resting guys on certain nights.
Yeah, I think that's important, that players have a real understanding of their responsibility. I understand trying to balance the rest versus the wear and tear of a course of. That's another reason I propose a shorter season. I don't think you'd end up with this kind of controversy or debate. But I thought the league was right in requiring, I mean, your responsibility is to play all the games you're available to play in, unless you're injured. And I think it's important that guys take that responsibility seriously. And it's a responsibility they have to themselves, to the team, the organization, and the fans.
They get it back. Count the basket. Embiid's got 15 points in just the second half.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Now here's Drummond. Outside Griffin. Shot clock at 6. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. Passes it to Simmons. That shot off. And Detroit the other way now. Griffin passes to Bullock. Kicks it to Jackson. Tips it up, and Drummond is right there. Drummond's got 9 points now in the quarter.
He's come out here in the second half and done a nice job moving, getting good looks, and finding his range.
Embiid with a screen on Griffin. Off the pick. No good from Simmons. Pistons trail by 18. Pass to Bullock. Now Jackson. The pass to Griffin. Pick by Griffin. All sorts of time. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. 26 points for Blake Griffin. Now here's Fultz, guarded by Jackson. Embiid the screen. Out to the right wing. Fultz kicks to Redick. From deep three-point range. Rebound, Detroit. Griffin's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Poked loose and stolen by Simmons. Covington dishes to Simmons. Outside for Redick. Cans it from downtown. Redick's got 19 points.
It's the main strength in Redick's game. His three-point shot. Lethal. This guy is a laser.
Drummond a screen. Here's Jackson. And Detroit again with the bucket.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the 76ers.
They simply ran him off the court.
They set the pace, and their transition game was executed flawlessly.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And with this win now, we're all square, 1-1. 2 more games yet to come in what's proving to be a very competitive season series.
Boy, I tell you, look at these teams, Greg. They're very evenly matched. This could be one of the better in-conference battles we see this season.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Joel Embiid.
You look at the energy he brought on both ends of the floor, and it's easy to see why he was a difference maker.
No good from Simmons. And so it's Detroit with the ball, trailing by 17. And it's blocked by Simmons.
Boy, you cannot forget about the long reach and wingspan of Simmons. I mean, he uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with block shots.
Now here's Simmons. Five on the clock. And it's sent back by Drummond. They recover it, and he gets it back. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Smith outside. Johnson outside. Outside for Jackson. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.